We are back again. Saints Block Party podcast, an emergency podcast coming at you. We just finished recording Monday night. It is Tuesday night, and training camp, the players reported today. First practice will be tomorrow. We'll get our first news updates from Saints' first practice tomorrow, but we got to start with this. It's an emergency podcast. We are live streaming this to YouTube. So if you are watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. But I wore this shirt for a reason, Wolf.
What's that?
You can't see it. It's it's backwards, so you
Mm,
can't see it. But
I know what it is, though. I know what it is. It's tried and true every
always
time.
never fails, bro.
No fails.
Never fails. Um, News comes out today. It was like 10 minutes before Mickey Loomis did like the introductory
Mm,
like opening of training camp. Adam Schefter breaks it. Uh, Tyrann Mathieu, Saint safety, LSU legend, just a Louisiana legend, retired. Retired from the Saints. Boom.
boom.
We just in the Discord. We just had a good day. Boom.
Those
Just
are my
drop.
favorite. I ain't gonna lie, those are my favorite, like, breaking news, but it's just like out of nowhere. You're not, no sources, no suspecting, nothing. Just like, la 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 la, boom. Oh,
I will say there.
oh,
I will.
oh, oh.
I want to give D credit. She put
Mm.
something out there 5 days ago. It
Hey,
was
don't sleep
it,
on D now.
absolutely not because she had kind of just put it out there. It's like, hey, how would y'all feel about Marcus Williams returning? Just testing the waters. Hashtag D new, bruh. D
D
new.
new.
Um, Giovanni Martinez asked, so tomorrow is the first day of actual practice. Yes, tomorrow is the first day of actual practice. And so Mickey Loomis has his press. He talks about it. Essentially talks about while it was unexpected, it seems like the team has they got word of it like pretty recently, like in the last couple of days.
Right.
Um, and your first thought when you saw this news. So shout out to Michael Morgan with the 199 super chat.
Shout
This is
out, Mike.
definitely a rebuilding team. I
Yep.
did like a thing. I'm starting trying to do this thing more often where like in our live streams as a YouTuber you can like set goals for like super
Mm.
chat. So I put like a 10 goal of to get hit
10
10
smackers.
goals. 10 just
10 smackers.
so we got 9 more. Appreciate you, Michael. But what was your first reaction and thought when the news hit
Uh,
of Honey Badger retiring?
I mean, I was surprised. I wouldn't say shocked. Like, just, for any player, when you get to that level of your career, it's like, anytime you can expect it. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't call it shock, but it was surprised. The timing was surprising. You would have expected this to happen early in the season, but look, he at that point in his career where he earned the right to just
Absolutely.
kind of feel it out. Man, who knows what he was thinking, but he probably went outside, felt that New Orleans heat. Like, man, I gotta go out there, another training camp, learn a new scheme. We ain't winning no Super Bowl this year. I took a pay cut already.
A very substantial pay cut.
Substantial pay cut. I'm like, you know what, bro? I'm about to hang it up, man. I'm about to just hang it up, man. Call it a career. So, props to him, bro. Like I'm proud of him. Watched him. Like, I'm not an LSU fan, but like I said before, like, if I do watch college football, it's to watch like certain players that excite me. And he was one of them players back in the day. I'm
Elite,
the
bro.
LSU playing. Like, let me just put this on. Let me see what Honey Badger doing because he gonna do something.
Something, bro.
Patrick Peterson and all that. Man, I gotta watch it. So, and all he went through at LSU, all the troubles, and looking like, man, is you gonna make it to the NFL? You just getting caught up in all the BS in New Orleans and with wrong crowds and all that. Shook all that off, made it to the league, completely transformed. Like his this identity became like a huge role model for a lot of young black boys coming up. That grew
Yeah.
up in situations like him, coming out the hood, all that stuff. Very well known family in New Orleans. Um, and I'm just proud of him for just making it through. And then, going towards the end of his career, coming back home to New Orleans and becoming a Saint and having some good seasons with us. So I'm just proud of him, happy for his career. With all that said, for the time was a knocking, bro. Like,
Whoop had the pistol cock,
with all that said, brother, much love to him, but before the time was knocking, and it's a youth movement, baby. We trying to get younger. His presence in the locker room and in the film
Yes.
room and on the sideline, like his IQ unmatched. The things he understands going to be sorely missed.
Yes.
But like physically, you could just tell he wasn't what he used to be. He was slowing down, and it's time to just inject some youth into this defense. We know it's what we need to do. So, from a football standpoint, I'm excited, kind of excited to see what changes this brings because it's like moves a guy out the way. Not saying not calling him a progress stopper, but moves a
Right.
guy out the way just to see what we got, what we got.
Well, shout out to our dude, Bajan. Make sure you check out our website, saintsblockparty.com. Equanimous St. Brown to the Niners by Drago's podcast. Man, can't stand Equanimous, bro. Can't stand them. The St. Browns
Bye.
in general are just awful. I mean, I could break them down on like because I'm a social worker. Like it starts with their dad, and like it's deep,
100%.
bro. It's deep. But I'm
If
not.
you
I
watch
this.
if you watch that wide receiver show on Netflix
Woo!
and you get to know their dad, it's like
It makes complete
it makes
sense.
sense. Okay,
It makes
I get
complete
it now.
sense. I wanna reach out to our dude Q. Q's always in these live streams.
What up,
Um,
Q?
uh, he called the Julian Blackmon signing in our
Mm,
mentions. He was saying that the Saints should off to Julian Blackmon maybe an hour before Jeremy Fowler reports it, and then Rappaport confirmed that the actual signing happened. Q Q's been blocked by me for what I don't know. Just one of them blocks. Couldn't even tell you what Q got blocked for,
mm.
bruh. I gotta rectify Q. So
Hey,
I
Q.
will. I,
SaintsBlockParty.com
nope.
slash
Don't even need to do
Adam
it.
Unblock
Don't
Q.
even need to. No, Wolf. Q been in the trenches. Q been in these live streams. I will do a live unblocking on the podcast. I will look in my phone, go in, find where he is, and unblock his account.
Q, you
Um,
gotta understand, this don't happen. Like this does not happen.
it doesn't, bro.
Privileged.
Because listen, the way I see it, bro. If I can't remember why I truly blocked you, and two, if you in here rocking with us and supporting us and just being a good dude, listen, bro. Like at some point, by God's, but if I can distinctly remember why I fucking blocked you, like I'd be like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
you
Like you know. Like,
no,
it ain't
no
happening.
shot, no shot, bro, no shot. Um, so Q will get a live unblocking on the plot. Anyhow, just to your point, it he Honey Badger deserves all his flowers, and I think something just from the football part aside of it, our dude Greg Rosenthal put out a tweet just of how he reached out to Chris Wessling um, when he went through like his first bout of cancer because he knew how much of a fan Chris was of him as a prospect, and when he got drafted by the Cardinals, and that's just who that's just who he was like player aside, but just as a
Mhm.
person, right?
Yeah.
Um, Da comes in, he signs him. One, because they won, they needed a safety, and two, LSU, those ties always help in terms of fanfare and what have you.
Oh yeah.
But I really, to your point, like you said, Father Time, it creeps up. The things in the run game, it was getting murky, bro. It was getting
It
it was
was,
getting
man.
murky. But making this transition, this Julian Blackmon signing, I was watching because I'm a sicko, watching some Julian Blackmon highlights and trying to just watch some, not all 22, but just some tape on him when the signing happened. And one of the things I do feel somewhat confident in, depending on his health, which is the key part, is I do think you will see an improvement in Blackman in that area of
Mm.
he like he at least from what I've seen in very limited what I looked at, that was something that it was very just noticeable in terms of just how he played the run coming up and run fits and things like that. And that's something at least, and I will say this, with the team having that kind of heads up of maybe 2, 3, 4 days of notice, they could start, okay, we know we got to go out and get a safety, and let's
Mhm.
look at who's available out there and see who's going to fit Brandon Staley's scheme that's going to match this. I was going to actually try to get the Field Vision Pro and look at
Ooh.
Julian Blackman and see how, like what he does well and see how it
Ooh.
fits in on all that. Um, Got to hit up our dude
What
Scott and hit up
what
our.
was it? What was his injury? Like, was he
I
injured?
was I was just talking to Greg, and he just seems to he has some nagging injuries here. But then I was looking at his game log, and he didn't seem to miss a lot of games. So
He played like over 1,000 snaps last year. So I was like, So,
so
but I mean, to get him, in freaking late July, like,
like
not
potentially
bad. You
like
know what I'm saying?
probably going to be the starting free safety.
26 years old. 26 years old. Played a lot of snaps. Started. Experience in like the cover two and cover three stuff they were doing it with the Colts. A lot of coverage snaps. Got a couple of interceptions last year, but we got one against Drake May.
Yep.
Um, experience. I was PFF. I know it's PFF. I don't take it to like the grave and like swear by it, but when you're not grinding the tape of a guy, you got to just reference something. So I was looking at him, very positive coverage grades, from PFF, very positive coverage grades. Doesn't miss a lot of tackles. Hey man, like for when you got to rush out and just grab a safety off the street, like man, Julian Blackman, that ain't bad, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It's not. Our dude Dante said they beat out Dallas too. He was heavily coveted by them, so got to give them credit for the quick pivot.
Shout out for that
Um,
news. I didn't know that.
our dude Gilk, appreciate you with the $2 super chat. History for the
Guilt,
pod on live.
super
We were here. I will
soon
do it.
New Orleans resident. Guilt.
I will do it. Wayne, $1 super chat. Appreciate you, Wayne. Michael with another
Oh man,
199 super chat. Will Foskey get cut? I won't say I hope so because that would
no.
also indicate that I'll say this: if he doesn't show anything in training camp, and if he doesn't show anything in preseason, then he absolutely should get cut.
Yes, yes. Like, come on now. And look, man, this ain't no shot like personal shot to Foskey. Seems like a real good dude, but like, bro, that time is running up, bro. Like the fact that you still have a roster spot right now is a blessing. Is a true blessing. You should be thankful. You
Like
getting
when you were
1.5 million guaranteed this year, bro. Like, take that. You need that. Need it.
you were going like you went down the list of the D line last night, and you did that's without even going into like the defensive ends, really,
Right.
bruh. It's stacked, bruh. Okay, so you
Stack, man.
you can't see it. You can't see it. Is there a way for me to share my screen? Let me see if I can.
Share.
Hold on. Mm, mm. History's happening right now.
Uh-oh. Hey,
Boom.
follow.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Boom. Live.
Let's
Happened on
see
the
how
pod.
long it lasts. See how long it
Ryan!
lasts. Ain't no promises now. I'll block
That
you.
is true. That is true.
Tread lightly.
History made. Five years. That should be like a weekly segment.
It really should, bro.
They also speaking of the whole mood of today with the retirements. Jimmy Graham announced he's retiring from the NFL today.
Hmm.
Plans to retire a Saint. Uh, man. Well, before we I'll ask you this, just as a general question: who has a better shot at the Hall of Fame, Honey Badger or Jimmy Graham?
Oh, it's Honey Badger for sure. For sure. It's unfortunate. Like Jimmy was literally on that trajectory. Like those first 5 years of his career, like Hall of Fame trajectory written all over it. Was going to shatter every record, every tight end record that ever existed. But it just didn't work out like that. Tyrann Mathieu has a good shot. Like somebody had posted like the comparison of his like stats and Troy Polamalu. I was like, damn, you know. Now I still don't think like Honey Badger would be like a easy first ballot, like unquestionable first
No,
ballot. There's gonna be some debating going on. It might take them a couple, rotations, especially since they're tightening it up a little bit. They're not just throwing it, 10 guys every year like they used to. So it might be a little tough, but got like three all pros, three first team all pros, second team all pro. He got like, interceptions, the plays. He got the like the off the field, good dude stuff, leadership, got the championship ring. Like he got the resume for it. It's just a lot of there's been a lot of good safeties in the league, over the years. So
I get so like when I saw that, I guess the thing I saw is like, and it's the thing with stats and
yeah, it's stats.
how
So you don't get everything from it.
it's like Troy Polamalu, like there was an eye test that like
Oh yeah.
he was clearly a Hall of Fame safety, like clearly.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to take anything away from like Tyrann as a player, but I could see potentially why like he and I have no idea if he's going to get in or not. But if he didn't get in, I could potentially understand why he wouldn't get in if that makes any sense.
Right, right, right. And I think if they did have a knock on him, he did like switch a lot of teams. He had a couple of years where he was injured. Um, so there's some things you could try to knock on him, but like there were like consistently a couple of years, good 4 or 5 years where he was, one of the top three or four safeties in the league. And honestly, just to get in the Hall of Fame, you got to be one of the better or best players at your position. For at least a stretch of time. Championships help. Some of the other stuff helps. So I think he will get in. I just don't think it's like a shoe in. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
It's gonna be like a debate. Jimmy, on the other hand, it's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna get in the Saints Hall of Fame. He gonna make it to the Ring of Honor and all that. But Pro Football Hall of Fame, nah, bro. But man, you can't tell me nothing. You can tell me about Jimmy, bro. Like though, having Jimmy, like just we never had a playmaker like that. When we got him, and I remember the first when we drafted him, and draft countdown, the Saints report days, and we're like, man, look at this tight end out of Miami. He used to look at the highlights. All he had was like 15 catches at Miami. He barely did anything, but it was like, ooh. And I remember Sean Payton saying, like he got the steal of the draft. And people were like, he was like, is he development? Like, you think he's gonna take a couple years? And Sean Payton was like, nah, he playing this year. Like, and I remember like the first little highlight to come out of training camp where he was going over the middle and he jumped up to the air, catch a big deep ball from Drew. We like, ooh, woo. And then it took like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I remember it was like week 3 against Atlanta in 2010, and he ran like a tight end screen, and just
Oh,
it was a screen or it was like an end around or something, and he like broke tackles, and then it was just like just went
essentially,
sky high. And then 2011, you had the versus the Texans where he dragging players in and just can't just they can't take it away from me, bro. I don't care what nobody tell me.
it's like anytime you start talking about like the Jimmy Graham prime peak like
Ooh,
timeline, it becomes like, and he's a shit person, but like the Vince McMahon like just a gift where you get a
yeah,
little choked up a little, you just
just every time, bro. Every time. Because he was a dog, and the Saints just never had a. I mean, Joe Horn was dominant at times, but just like a dominant force where it's just like nothing. He was literally. I can't remember who it was. I think it was your buddy Doug Farrar that tweeted it.
gonna punch you in the
Um,
throat, bro.
after one game, and I remember him saying like, "Man, Jimmy Graham is getting to that Megatron. Like, what the do we do
You do.
level? Like, you just couldn't stop him. He was like a, I think it was the 2013 season where he went like 6 or 7 games, like 100 yards a game, like 7 straight games. Then the historic,
I
Talib,
keep I keep to
Aqib
leave.
Talib. I'm thinking Talib Kweli. Like, what?
The rapper nigga. Yeah, I'm sure the rapper for sure could not guard him.
But Belichick, of course, Belichick, the genius, put a number 1 corner on the tight end, took about the game. You know what I'm saying? And every team started doing that after that, just putting the number 1 corner on a tight end, which is crazy. That's
I mean,
it got to
th-
that point.
the Tampa Bay Bucks drafted Mark Barron. I want to say it's 6th overall from
Yep,
Alabama. It's also very sick that I could tell you exactly
that's
what
very sick.
draft. Like disgustingly sick. From Alabama in the top 10, a safety. And one of the key reasons they drafted Mark Barron was to essentially be able to stop Jimmy Graham twice a year.
Yep,
That's how much he had changed the psychological way the NFC South was played.
yeah.
And
And
Mark
then
and Mark
everybody,
Barron ended up being like not a good player.
no, he was not good. I think he moved to linebacker. It was just,
Yes.
yeah. But that's just it was just a couple of years of straight dominance, man. And, you can say what you want about what happened afterwards or whatever, but him at his peak with the Saints, it always had me wondering, like, what if they just figured it out and he stayed with the Saints through like that 2017, 2018 revival, with
Mm,
MT, Alvin Kamara, and like, man, what could have been? What could have been? But water under the bridge.
I'm gonna give you okay. I'm gonna give you this. What if you could only choose one? Jimmy Graham, but he doesn't get injured, and he doesn't have his maturity issues. So like he basically able to get Jimmy Graham in like his prime and those issues and no injury, or MT but no injury issues. Who are you taking?
Ooh. So you saying Jimmy Graham, no injury,
And no immaturity issues.
over what time frame?
So basically from like so he got traded what 2015.
15.
So basically from like 2015 to like let's say 2015 on, and then basically MT with just no
Uh-huh.
injury. So like him just
Oh,
coming off offensive player of the year.
oh
But he
man.
but he doesn't get injured due to Traquan Smith.
Oh, that's a tough one, bro. Like that's an evil one right there, bro.
I know, bruh.
That's an
Listen.
evil one,
It's
man.
gonna be a social media clip. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Ah, I think I'm gonna go Jimmy. It's Jimmy Graham Day. I'm gonna go Jimmy. I'm gonna go Jimmy. But ask me tomorrow, you probably get a different answer. Honestly, like because that 2020 season when Mike got injured, I know it was the Breeze last season,
Right.
and probably wouldn't have done much if anything that season. Still, bro, like that was like just the downfall. Felt like that was the beginning of the downfall. Well, maybe you can say the no call was the beginning of the downfall, but that right there, when he got injured week 1 of 2020, it just went downhill from there, bro. Then next year, that old thing over the all season, tried to come back.
Back. Yep.
Sean Payton retired at 20. I don't know. I don't know.
Mo- Most people in the chat are saying Jimmy Graham because of the touchdown factor.
Facts. I mean, he was double digit touchdowns. Even his down year, like even well, quote unquote down year as well. He's like, alligator arms Jimmy or whatever. He was still getting them touchdowns, bro. The fade was unstoppable. Like just
Unstoppable,
literally throw
bro.
it up into the corner and there's nothing you can do. Nothing.
Bajan said pass. No, the person who puts the
The worst
most
polls.
in our fucking Discord.
I don't say worst polls. It was great polls,
No,
but
great.
like
They're
just
great polls.
the
And I say some of the polls like I say pass on too. To be fair, like I got
yeah. I'm not voting on that, bro.
And two people have said this. MT can do what Graham does, but Graham can't do what MT does. And then someone said Jimmy can do what MT does and do it better. Like literally two comments right on top of each other.
Man,
Um,
that's a tough one though, bro.
it's a diabolical one, bro. It's a truly diabolical one. Like I remember the season, like him and Gronk were going back and forth. Like literally, Jimmy had scored a touchdown. I remember watching Red Zone, and Gronk had like they were going back and forth between the Saints game and the Pats game because they were going for the tight end touchdown record
Yep.
that year.
Yep.
Our dude Josh said he was one of those players that made people at my school change favorite teams when he left.
Yeah.
Disgusted me, but can't think of many Saints players with that power.
Yeah. It's a star,
He
bro.
he was also a very decisive player, which was
Mm-hmm.
so confusing to me. It was a very confusing thing to me because there were fans that couldn't stand Jimmy. It was
Yeah.
like couldn't.
No, there was a lot. Remember a lot of questions about his toughness, all this stuff. Like dude playing to play with a plantar fasciitis, and you talk about his toughness. Like, come on, man. You know.
Oh, I remember. I don't know. Like I remember that being. If you want to talk about like a span when I really started blocking people, like it was during that span because in my head I was like, because it was a Seattle game, right? And it's like, here's a football player who can barely like move, but yet here he is playing through an injury, and you're out here calling him soft,
Against the
like
Legion of Boom.
against Bam Bam Cam, bruh, against Bam Bam Cam, but he's okay, and so like I remember during that span I was like nah, like I just block, block, block. Started back then. Anyway, um, another retired retiree.
Retirement party, man.
Should maybe
Where the
the
cake
cake.
at? Where the pizza at? Shit.
What? Um, Dallin Holker, who he got like waived, which I don't know. Maybe that was for financial purposes or what have you. But he retired from the game of football today as well.
Wow.
So three people. I mean,
Wow.
Graham was not on a team, but he
Yeah.
retired from the entire game of football. Three Saints somehow in one day retired, all on the same day.
Unbelievable. And Dallin Hooker, he was highly touted. We signed him as an undrafted free agent last year. He had that classic game against Colorado in college, so everybody was, excited about him. Big athletic tight end. Shined in camp last year. I think he got hurt and wound up,
Yeah, he did.
Wound up being on the active roster, didn't do much for whatever reason, whether they're just not using them or whatever. And then he just retired, bro. Like it was just like, okay, I wish I would have got to know you. You know, like it's just like okay,
And then, as people on Twitter, and then I think even in our Discord are pointing out, Juwan Johnson is the only healthy tight end on the Saints roster as at the moment.
what you mean, man? Don't they got Jack Skoll or something like that? Jack Skoll, baby. Hey, you know,
About to
but
throw something up.
hey, bro, look, they had a draft, and you know, what I mean, wasn't much there as far as tight ends in this past draft. You know, tight ends or running backs. Oh, wait, it was the deepest running back and tight end draft in recent memory. I'm never letting that go. I'm sorry. That's gonna be something that catch. Like even if they have like a better than they
Okay,
thought season or
sorry.
whatever.
Everyone's saying like the UCLA tight end.
Who Moscato? Talk about Moscato.
There it is. That's his name.
Show me Moscato. I have not seen him yet. I have not seen Moscato yet.
And also, like, man, as fans, and it happens a lot in the Marcus Colston thing has like really skewed fans like perspective of like seventh round players.
Yeah, man. They
Like
don't. They really don't do nothing, bro. Like
most seventh round picks like don't do anything.
it's in the
They
single digit percentages, like single digit percentage, like maybe 3% hit over time. It's and maybe even that's a stretch. Like they just don't. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing you can ever depend on.
like someone in the chat, the Rook said turning him to a red zone monster. Like yeah, you yes. In
Hope so.
hindsight, yeah, he's 6'7", 6'8". You would think that would be a very functional thing for him to do, but like I think the Eagles drafted who was it, Johnny Wilson or something that was like super tall, also recently.
Sometimes I
It,
think you could be too tall. Like
tall, like it's just
your
like
knees getting. Every defender is like going for your knees because it's like I'm not about to hit you at your body. I'm going straight. I'm going straight for your lower body because I ain't got no choice.
maybe maybe the Saints bring in Noah Fant potentially,
Please do it.
potentially. Um,
Got all this
but
money. Why not?
Bajan, appreciate you with the 199 super chat. He said the Kendra Miller retirement gonna be peak content, bruh.
Bro,
If Kendra retires in the next 2 weeks,
bro.
I will fall out of my fucking chair.
I'm
Fall
just gonna
out,
do
Wolf.
30 minutes of me laughing. That's it. 30 minutes of me laughing. That shit would be hilarious, bro. I was waiting to hear his name on the pup today. I was like,
Bro, I was only two players on pup. That's Taysom and that's Foster Moreau, which
that's
is a
it.
good list. That's a very short list.
Yeah.
Um, we have 51 concurrent viewers on right now. About
What up?
150 views. People got the football juices are flowing. Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore spoke to the media today, the day of training camp opening. Anything Jack Hunter said Kendra Miller gonna get cut and sign with Kansas City and be an all pro. I
Sure.
I'll believe it when I see it. Um, anything that caught your ear, your eye as you listened to those pressers.
With Mickey, not I mean, come on, man. You're not gonna get much out of Mickey. Uh, it did sound like he's been forced to kind of see that, like, okay, yeah, we're a resetting, rebuilding team. Like he won't say it. He'll never just come out and say it like, no, we. but you could tell that he's just been forced to get to the point where like,
Yep.
this is where we are. This is the reality of the situation that we are a rebuilding team right now, and I couldn't
No,
help but come away feeling like that.
and the word he used was reset.
Reset.
Yeah, he didn't want to use rebuild or whatever. He said reset. Something that was interesting to me. Can I say this? I think I can. Maybe I don't even know. He made it. Like it was about the quarterback decision of like who's going to start, right?
Mm.
And he was saying like that's a coach's decision, right, and what have you. When Derek Carr got injured last season, before the team like I guess decided who they were gonna send out to be the starter when Derek Carr was injured, they had to have final approval from Mickey. So can we can we stop with and maybe that's gonna be like viewed as like
You know,
I have no idea what just happened. This is
double
live
screen.
recording.
Mm.
Live podcasting. I apologize. But what I was saying was that can we stop with and maybe like the comeback would be well that was when we had like an interim head coach whatever but can we just stop with this whole notion of like he doesn't have input of potentially who now it may be Kellen's final decision in terms of who's going to be quarterback one but I can say unequivocally I know that whoever the quarterback was starting when Derek was injured, that was not. I don't even know. I don't even know who the interim. I'm blanking on the interim's name.
Rizzy.
That was not Rizzy's decision. Like, it had to get like final approval. You know when you do like if you in a car negotiation and they going back and forth and they got to go to like the man like so like
The
it
finance
that
manager.
yes like that caught my my ear. That's all.
Yeah, man. We know how it's gonna go. Like, not that he's gonna tell Kellen who's gonna be started, nothing like that. But even Kellen said like it's gonna be a decision amongst the coaches and management. You know what I'm saying? Like, and management is gonna be a part of it. They're gonna be a part of it. It's just a fact. It's just weird because Mickey Loomis is not a football savant whatsoever. Like he should not have really any input. Like it should be okay. Whatever you want to do, coach. I'm backing you, and just let me know what you need, so I can make sure whatever resources you need to be successful are available. That should be the only involvement Mickey Loomis should have. That's it. You know. But
Jack said talk about Mickey Loomis in the podcast when it's reset. Interesting.
I know that's
Interesting. Huh. Shit, like the poltergeist just shit got turned off. Shit.
he said. Pull the plug.
Um,
But
so,
Kellen's presser was a little more interesting. Starting to figure out how to read him a little better. It did sound like to me that they're putting a lot like that Chargers game is going to be important for the
woo,
for the
buddy,
quarterback battle
huge.
because he said multiple times about how they're going to kind of flip flop each day as far as like the quarterbacks and the reps and stuff like that in the build up to that Chargers game. Then however they're going to do that Chargers game, I don't know if they're going to split it by quarters or whatever. I don't know. And then he said after that we'll make the adjustments as needed, whatever that means. And I take that as after that game, that's when you'll start to see the adjustments on how we practice and who we start devoting the most of these reps to. Because he said after that first preseason game, it's on to the Cardinals. Like it's game planning for the Cardinals, getting ready for week one, getting ready for the season. So I can't wait to see, bro. Like I can't wait to see how it turns out. You know?
It's ironically maybe it's great that I'm gonna be there and get to
Yeah.
experience it super close, live, in person, and get to experience it with and truly see how like not just Rattler, not just Shuck, but just see how the team plays in general.
And the sideline and all that, you know.
All that. So little Ray said they want to get younger because if they going older, they would have signed Justin Simmons, and just maybe that, and also well, Justin Simmons also plays more strong. Well, I don't. I mean, but also, I maybe Brandon Staley felt that Julian Blackmon was a better complement and fit his defense more than Justin Simmons did too. Like that's also something to consider. Jack Hunter said, "I'm so interested to see how these quarterbacks coming out in these preseason games. It's gonna be fascinating." The I don't want to belabor the point, but because I don't like we have great relationships with people in the Saints media, so I don't want to. But there's like it's just there's some I don't know bridging of gaps or just some holes. Like when Mickey was surprised that he didn't get any questions about Saints going out to California.
It's like, what is going on? It's like, no questions about California? Okay. All righty then.
just just walked off, bro. Like oh,
I was like, come on, media. Come on, NOLA media. I'm just saying, y'all, like, anybody that's listening, y'all represent the fans. You know what I'm saying? Y'all represent the fans. So, y'all, a lot of times, y'all the only voice we have as fans. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying go up there and complain about stuff like you're a fan of them, but there are questions that a lot of fans have. You know what I'm saying? And just try to get that out there. I know some of y'all try. Shout out to Cat, Captain Terrell, but try to get that out there. Like, why aren't fans being allowed in practice in California? Why isn't there at least one day? At least one day.
because
One day to invite some fans out there.
they're out here like a week and a half, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can we get a day or two? You know, why? Like, give me the reason. That's all I'm saying. Like, give me the reason. Give me make me understand the reason, and don't gaslight me
Oh,
about the logistics and the NFL rules and the this and the that and the blah 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 and it's not set up for it and this and that. Don't give me none of that. Give me a legit reason so I can understand and be like, oh, okay, I understand your perspective because I'm a reasonable guy.
simple as that. Simple as that, bro. Um, our dude Gilk said at least ask why it was done before, but not now, because I was out there in 2017.
Yeah,
I mean,
you pay attention.
I've been out at numerous practices. Now they could say, they were here. There could be numerous reasons as to why they came. We just wondering like the question being asked. Um, Someone Little Ray said I think they will sign Asante Samuel Jr. tomorrow. Maybe like I'm sure for him too as a player, like I'm sure he wants to be with the team before camp really
Oh yeah,
gets like underway. So I'm sure whatever team he decides, and obviously if as long as his medicals are clear, I'm sure whatever decision he wants to make, the sooner the better for him, so he can get with the team and get on with training camp. Q said I'll keep y'all updated on practice tomorrow. I will be out there. Q, man, get a neck fan.
bro.
Take plenty
Stay
of
stay hot.
water.
Stay hydrated, brother.
My goodness.
Real. I'm trying to think. Kellen's presser. He talked a lot about the offensive line and them playing as a unit. Um, just that starting five combination of he said learning the unspoken language or whatever. The unspoken communication playing with you. I just thought that was really just interesting. from his perspective.
Man, what was so interesting to me was like the last thing he said, and it made me really realize it was like, man, they might not be good, but at least I feel like they might have the right guy in place. Just talking about teaching the fund, like it was about the comment he talking about the fundamentals and teaching the offense, like offensive players how to tackle, and
Hmm.
defensive players how to like carry the football. Just like if you get it like an interception, you picking up a fumble. Like you need to know how to carry the football. Just like if you were running the ball like AK, or if you're an
Hmm.
offensive player, like you need to know how to tackle. Just like if you're Demario, or like if there's a there's a turnover situation, because like you have to know those fundamentals. Because when we've the Zach Bond, right? We were there at the Texans game. Zach,
And what's crazy is if you go back to the Super Bowl season, 2020, 2009 season, it was amazing how like when the defense would get an interception, they would turn to an offensive team like immediately. Like everybody
immediately
blocking.
woof.
And that's why they had like I can't remember like 8 or 9 return touchdowns, defensive return touchdowns that year because they would immediately turn to like an offense and just start annihilating players down the field, to get down there. And then like after that, every time I see an obsession, they're like, where do we go? Where do we go? Everybody's just like, oh, nah, man, you got to turn it to an offense. So I appreciate Kellen like just understanding that and just make it just the
When
detail. I
he's
could tell he's a very detailed oriented coach,
very,
man. Like
very
super detailed oriented. And Sean Payton was like that too.
like when he said that, I was like, okay. I don't know if this team is going to be good or not, just in regards to like the talent that's on it, but that's like super refreshing to hear because I know for like the last three fucking or what I don't even know how long 2.5 years, bro.
That shit wasn't even entering DA mind, bro.
Don't know what the fuck was in that man's mind, bro.
Bro,
It wasn't
that
that.
shit.
It was not
Like,
that,
what
bro.
what time? What time is it, man? Let's get out of here, man.
wrap this shit up. Let's
Wrap
wrap it
this
up.
up.
Um, trying to think anything else. One thing you had mentioned, I think someone mentioned, I think it was you or someone else in our Discord mentioned it. Man, Kellen, and I was told this, so I'm not surprised at all. But man, it really feels and sounds like Kellen loves him some Taysom. And I heard this like
He
early,
does.
early in the
Yeah,
off season.
you did. No, man, it does sound like it. Like, you could tell when coaches talk about certain players, you know, if it's something they got kind of guarded about, they kind of lean back and kind of just guard themselves. With Taysom, it's like, it's that sit up that just that it's a little excitement about it. You know what I'm saying? He talked about how he's just a unique player, man. Like quarterback, blocking, catching, you name it. If you're a coach, an offensive coach, that's an exciting player, bro. I know he's 35. I know he's coming off injury. But for a team that's like lacking weapons and wants to run the ball, wants to find explosive plays, Taysom Hill right there, bro. He already got a contract. You're paying him $10 million. Use him as long as he gets healthy.
And and honestly, bro, at this point, I keep talking about it. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't even touch Taysom Hill's contract. Like they
Yeah,
have no reason to without
no
with the
reason
cap
to.
space at this point. None.
Right now, it's just all about health, and I don't know, but I don't know if anybody that knows where he's at. He looks fine, like just walking, but
He looked again. He looked super fine, like walking into like the video of the players arriving.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see.
Trying to think anything else from today's flurry.
Flurry of
flurry.
news.
So I will say this: we probably won't be back and record tomorrow after day one of practice. We'll probably come back Thursday, Thursday night, and recap day one of practice. Um,
Watch and see. Watch and see.
bruh,
Some shit gonna happen. We just gonna have to record. I already
that
know.
that 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 Kendra Miller retire notification
Can we
going.
get a Saints Block Party prayer? Even if you're not a believer in that prayer, reach out to the spirits, whatever. Let's just have a
Please,
healthy training camp. Just
please,
push it up. I know there's gonna be some nicks and twisters of the ankles and stuff like that. But just please, no ACLs, no surgeries,
please.
no season ending injuries. Let's just please have that. Give this team a chance with the little talent they do have. We don't need to be losing more. Please.
Don't don't need it. Don't need it. Um, they need all the help, like all the help they can get, all the help
All of
they
it,
can
bro.
get.
They can't risk nobody, man. You know?
We didn't talk about him with the Tyrann retirement. We kind of focused on Julian Blackmon,
Is
but I
it
did want to.
Julian or Jillian?
Julian, my bad. That's on me.
Okay.
My bad.
Okay.
Uh, but this also like opens more opportunity for their draft pick, uh, Giannis Sanker, who they drafted.
Sanka.
It's like you said, man. It's a youth movement as we kind of get close to just wrapping up this episode, and it's a player that when I watched him, he definitely just flashed all over the field
Yeah.
when you put his tape on, and it's a young secondary. Like regardless of if they add Asante Samuel Jr. or not, regardless, it's a young
Hey man.
secondary.
Nothing's more exciting, and this is what I mean when I always talk about like even if the Saints aren't like winning a ton, just be fun. Like there's nothing more exciting than when you get like some rookies and they just like playing above their head. It's like, oh hell
Yeah.
yeah! Like you remember like Kenny Vaccaro when he
Yep.
came on the scene, Marcus Williams when he started, AK, and Marshawn Lattimore, Brandon Cooks when he first. All those guys, like when you got rookies that come in, especially like late rounders, and they come in and they give you like starter snaps and like quality snaps, man, that's
Woo.
exciting, man. It's so exciting.
Super. Super. Um. So, and I mean, they drafted 9 players, Ryan. They drafted 9 players,
Man.
bro. Give me, give me some,
Mm,
give me some excitement from some of them, bro. Like,
some of them, man. What if what's his name for Deal for Lil
oh, seventh rounder.
seven seven rounder? Like, can we get Foskey out of here for Lil? Get him out of here, bro.
Get that nigga out of here.
You ain't gotta do much. Like just get a half a sack in the preseason, and you outdo Foskey. You have already done what Foskey's done that he his whole career. A half a sack. Not even a whole. Give me that for Deal. Get
I,
him out of here.
I bet he do it, bro. I bet he do it. I bet he do it. Anyhow, that was it. We wanted to come and Dante said, bite him. Anyhow, we just wanted to come and do this emergency podcast, talk about the mass retirements from today with Tyrann Mathieu, Jimmy Graham, and Dylan Holker. It was no hi Bree. Fun episode. The first day of actual training camp, like real football. I mean, no pads, but like real ish football is tomorrow. So make sure you got your phone ready if you're going out there to practice. If you're in the city, if you're actually going out there to practice, like legitimately, please have water. Be hydrated. If you have a neck fan or just a fan, please take it with you. We will be back hopefully Thursday. Hopefully we can get a little bit of respite, and we'll be back on Thursday to talk about the observations from Wednesday. Please don't be the type of person that be like, "Oh, you weren't at practice, you weren't there." Like we are very clear and we state that. But even if we're not there, there are people who are in our community who do go to training camp and they do observe and they are there. And obviously, we're going by what we read from observations from people who are there. So it's just one of my pet peeves that just drives me crazy. So we hold on. Eugene said I had a nagging feeling about Foskey from that first goofy nice guy interview he gave post draft. Corny dudes, corny dudes tend not to be dogs. I mean that's true. I mean I don't maybe to some
Nah,
degree like
man,
Cam.
look at Cam Jordan, man. Like,
You know who's super corny to like a degree is like Miles Garrett is like a big fucking nerd.
oh yeah, no question.
I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to
Yeah,
that. The thing with Foskey is that, and I've said this, he's not he's like a great like if like he has a great RAS score, but like matched up against actual other NFL athletes, he doesn't match up. Like it's
right.
clear as day. So it's just he just shows like he doesn't have a shot. Anyway, all that said, hopefully our plan is to be back Thursday night unless something crazy happens tomorrow. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We'll be back later this week, Thursday night. Hopefully nothing sooner that causes us to be back sooner than that. Appreciate you. Love y'all. We'll be back. With that, we are out.
Peace.